see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom for me and you, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Ooh. I see skies of blue, clouds of white, the bright blessed day and the dark sacred night, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. The colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, are also on the faces of people going by. I see friends shaking hands saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. I hear babies cry. I watch them grow. They'll learn much more than I will ever know. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Ooh, yes, I think to myself, what a wonderful world.
That was Perry Wilson and Rhiannon Hurst on vocals. So, a little bit about Rhiannon. She is a Rockport High School student, but she won the Outstanding Vocalist Award at the Herrick New York Jazz Festival. Oh, and I'm not done. At the Delaware High School Jazz Festival, she won the Bravo Award, and at the Berkeley School of Music's International Showcase of Jazz Singers, she came in second and won a full scholarship. You'll hear more from her at the other end of the concert, but wait, there's another reason we love her. She belongs to her school's green team. And she raised the money for them to get a biodigester. Now, I don't know about you, I thought a biodigester was my stomach. And I had to look it up. How many of you know what a biodigester is? Cool. So what it does is it takes lawn scraps, the stuff that you don't use from your kitchen, and manure, and goes, and it comes up with a biogas that you can use for heating and cooking, and this slurry of really nutritious muck that you use in your garden. They are amazing things. So we have a lot to thank her for. Okay, I'm rude. My name's Judith Black. I should have introduced myself right away. And I'm your host for the night, and a loyal member of 350 Mass. So my job in life is that I'm a storyteller. So the best way to introduce myself is by telling you a story. I call this, oh God.
Hi, Judy, this is Terry. Now, you know we've always been friends, and I really like you. So there's something you need to know.
Oh God. When that is the recitative of a conversation, you don't want to hear the aria. You want to say, oh my God, no, I'm debating religion with 12 Jehovah's Witnesses in the living room. Or a tsunami just came up over the coast, gotta run. Was I that quick? No.
And I really like you, so there's something you need to know. The club
she's referring to is the Rotary Club that I bludgeoned my husband to join with me 12 years ago so we could learn how to have meaningful conversations with conservatives.
The club is kind of, well, everybody's just sick and tired of you talking about Well, the environment all the time.
I attempt a warm, neutral tone. Terry, I understand it is odious and it's terrifying to think about, but you understand that we're up to over 50% of all species having died off, that we're warming our planet inextricably, that there is a meltdown of all of the glaciers and the poles, that in another few years there will be more plastics than fish in the...
Oh, Judy. Oh, I could be Cary Grant. Judy, we all recycle. What more do you want?
And I realized I was the Jewish Cassandra, the goddess of bad news that nobody wants to hear. And she was your friendly run-of-the-mill Walmart shopper. I mean, I have been a member of this club for 12 years, and they are still using single-use plastic bottles. I am the worst climate organizer on the entire planet. I mean, 12 years. Okay. So here's the problem. So once you have read This Changes Everything and The Sixth Extinction and all of E.O. Wilson, and you don't have a bathtub of lithium to balance the effects, you are left in one of two states. Honey, get me a catheter. I'm on the couch for the duration, which turns out to be not nearly as long as any of us had hoped. Or chicken apocalypse little. We're all gonna die, we're all gonna die, we're all gonna die, Neither of these turn out to be very effective organizing tools. And God, that is what I have to do to learn what to do. So what my people do, the people of the book, is when we have a problem, we go back to the book or the scroll, if you want to be complete, and we say, how did our forebears deal with a similar situation? Okay, so any of you that have ever read the Bible, what is the first end times situation? I'll give you a big hint. Who built the ark? And I imagine God going, Noah. Now, you know, we've always been friends, and I really like you. So there's something you need to know. And then God goes on to explain that my blueprint for humans was off. They're evil in every way, but you're an organic gardener. I kind of like you. So here, I want you to build this thing. And now, does Noah argue with God? No. Does Noah go out and try to re-educate people? No. He builds the ark, puts his family and the critters in it, and they're out of there. Well, he did have the first floating stock. Maybe he felt lucky. Thank you. That is a joke many people don't get. Okay, the second end time scenario is a little more esoteric. Abraham's nephew, his name was, we have a biblical person. Love, right, yell it out, girl. What was his name?
I believe Lot.
Yes, it was. And Lot lived in the town of Sodom. Now, we know what word comes from Sodom, don't we? Okay, this is, you didn't want to be a guy hitchhiking through this town. You know, it's just like bad news. And so I imagine God saying to Abraham, hi, Pat. Yeah, you thought you'd get through, didn't you? So I imagine God saying to Abraham, now I know we've always been friends and I really like you, but you know, that whole town of Sodom and the neighboring one of Gomorrah, I'm going to get rid of all of them. Now, Abraham is not afraid to schmooze with God. So Abraham says, God, if there are 50 righteous people, you're going to destroy the whole town. Well, I guess not. 40? Guess not. 30? So God, how many are you going to save? A lot. Thank you very much. Okay. So when the angels come to Sodom, Lot quickly gets them off the street. You don't want to be a strange guy, angel in Sodom, brings them into the house and saves them. Of course, he also offers his daughters who have never known men to these guys, but they're not interested in women, so the girls are preserved. But this still is not the role model for saving the world that I was kind of hoping to find. Judy, are you still there? Yeah, Terry, I'll be with you in 1 second. God, this is not what I'm looking for. I want to save the earth. I want to save it for people and creatures. And I know it's a big ask, isn't it? Maybe Noah was kind of shy. Maybe he couldn't do it all. But yeah, he built an ark. And we might really need that skill in the near future again, I get it. And Lot, he couldn't save everyone. I guess they weren't very convincible there in Sodom and Gomorrah, but he could save the angels and his family.
Judy?
Oh, Terry. Yeah, listen, you are such a great real estate agent.
I thank you.
No, we owe our house to you. I saw that you're selling a house down on Front Street, right by the water.
Yeah, it's a beauty.
Well, you might be interested. The Union of Concerned Scientists, I get their magazine, and they have an article that's geared completely to real estate agents. And they're talking about what's going to happen as sea level rises and what's going to happen to real estate prices. And they even have this interactive map that goes 10, 20, 30 years out. I thought you might,
yeah. Actually, I would love to see that.
Oh, okay. Do you have time to meet for tea tomorrow? We could meet at the Blue Canoe. How's 2?
Make it 2:30.
Okay, I'll see you then.
Okay, see you then. Thanks.
Bye. Thanks. We each do what we are able to do. Our next performer is amazing with his gifts. How many of you have heard Brian King? Raise your hand. Woo! He has a voice like honey. He is a musician, a songwriter, and an inspiration. In 2004, he started his group, What Time Is It, Mr. Fox? And in 2008, they had a party that's very similar to this. It was their first release party, and they had entertainers from circus groups, and they had animation. And the things it had in common with tonight is it happened here at the Gloucester Stage Company. Yay. And it was sold out, like tonight. Yay, Brian. He was a Critics' Choice in New York Time Out magazine and Edge magazine, and I want to get this right because it was just stunning, called his work a triumph of mood and style, an unforgettable musical, theatrical, and emotional experience. Welcome, Brian King.
Thank you, Judith. Thanks for being here. Thanks for putting this together. I want to do a funny little song. Little boy gets all that he wishes for. Little boy, his eyes are like open sores, gazing for days at the television screen. Big brilliant colors make his little heart scream. The dogs that beat him up, machines that spit him out, fun-filled fantasies that he cannot live without, explosions from a hydrogen balloon, life inside a horror cartoon. Mother buys books for Johnny to read. Mother tries, but she cannot succeed. Johnny won't sleep or eat or go to class. Little boy trapped inside the TV glass. The cakes that explode, the upside-down carousel. Johnny cannot escape his Hanna-Barbera hell. Tonight, a huge talking baboon, life within a horror cartoon. A horror cartoon. Jumping from windows, landing splat on the ground with a soft, squishy sound. Walking on water, no worry, no pain, inside your Disney brain. Whee! In the horror cartoon. Little boy boy gets just what he wishes for. Little boy is a boy no more. Digitalized titanium skin. Won't mom be surprised when he gets in? The dogs that beat him up, machines that spit him out, fun-filled fantasies that he cannot live without, explosions from a hydrogen balloon, life inside a horror cartoon. A horror cartoon. Thank you. So I wrote that song inspired by the cartoons I used to watch as a little kid. But as I got older, I realized that, TV is a place where many of us found escape. If things weren't good at home, maybe even TV, gave us a little hope for something better, something even good, or something seemingly perfect. Then the commercials offered that too, Buy this, buy that, and then your life will be perfect. And you'll look perfect. And you'll get so many likes on Instagram that you'll finally be worthy. Because you're not really good enough as you are, right? Well, that's a lie. But I do think that that lie fuels the need for, approval, and many of us buy things and fuel the industries that do poison our planet with that ravenous need for approval. And we forget that we are all worthy. Just by being here, alive on this planet, we are worthy of clean air. We are worthy of clean oceans. We are worthy of love and belonging. And we are worthy enough to have a voice. And it's so encouraging to see everyone here joining a voice just by being here in your presence. So my band, What Time Is It, Mr. Fox, wrote a show called Medusa, Reclaiming the Myth. Thank you. Some folks saw it. It was at the Museum of Science in Boston, in the planetarium, and it dealt with a lot of these issues about patriarchy and where that's taken us. So this song is from that. Can't do this anymore. What were we hoping for? Keep pounding on a bolted door till our fists bleed. Can't read what's in your eyes. Can there be another compromise when all we've left to sacrifice is everything we need? Thought I understood what we had to do. Thought we were good with what we knew. The deeper we dive in, the faster we go down. Is that how we were taught to swim? Trying to breathe while learning to drown. How are we keeping score? Waging someone else's war with the weapons we both swore we'd never use. You say I'm losing faith, but who laid this world to waste? How does that victory taste? Is it better to lose? 'Cause we begin like every fool thinking we can win, playing by the rules. The deeper we dive in, the faster we go down. Is that how we were taught to swim, trying to breathe while learning to drown? Learning to drown. Thank you so much. Thank you for being here.
Hey, we're now going to move from the sublime to the hysterical as we welcome Jackson Gillman. Let me tell you a little bit about Jackson Gillman. So Jackson, in '78, graduated from College of the Atlantic in human ecology. Okay, I thought that's what your stomach did as well. But a much, much bigger issue, and Jackson was way ahead of the learning curve. He worked for years as a sugarer, making apple cider, doing landscaping, as an arborist, and then he got the bug. Yeah, the theater bug. And realized that he had both a talent and a passion for the limelight. And in this long time, he has mastered mime, American Sign Language, and the skills of a chameleon so that he can slip in and out of characters and accents like that. Let us welcome my good friend to the stage, Jackson Gillman.
When you walk down any street, wave low, everyone meet. Well high, in the sun that shines, way down low, the world goes slow, slow. High, low, is everything high, low, high, low, high, low, high, low, high, low, high, low, high, low. Hello! Hey, I got you to say hello to me. All right. Actually, the reason I wanted to see if you're going to play with me, because I need your help throughout this whole little mini set here. How many of you here saw Inconvenient Truth, the film, Al Gore's film? This crowd, yeah, knows that it is really inconvenient, but we got to do something about it. A lot of people are in fierce denial that anything he's worried about. But we actually don't need all those scientists and all those graphs and all those convincing, facts to know that something's going on in our lives. Because we can know it for ourselves. We need to be younger. We want to go out on a bright sunny day and want to protect ourselves from the sun. You can get some sun lotion protection, right? And when I was a kid, it wasn't that long ago that we were kids. You go to the grocery store and you make a choice of first of all, you traced what brand you wanted. And for some reason, I was always attracted to the copper tone display. There's something very fetching about it. But then I had to decide what level of protection I wanted. And my choices, when I was younger, were level 2, level 4. The highest you ever saw was 8. Nowadays, when I get serious about protecting yourself from the sun, where do you have to start? 15, 30 words ahead. Well, we're going to take that to its logical extreme conclusion with the help of my friend Phil Hose, and you're going to help me with the musical interlude on this, and we're going to do a remake of a song that you all are familiar with. I took my children down to the Monson Beach. We packed a bagel and a fuzzy peach. We stopped to buy some sunscreen, but all that we could find was one huge bottle of love. Sun Lotion 99. Right on the label it said, "Give all the protection that you'll ever need." I winked at the kids and I gave them both a sign. Please rub my back with Sun Lotion 99. They pulled yelled at the cap and it twisted it fast. It rumbled and it roared and came out with a blast. It oozed down my back and said hard as a cast. I tried to move, I could not budge. I was very fast. The kids got rocks and tried to break my shell. It broke the rocks and turned it black and blue as well. I hate to face the fact, but it seems that I'm confined to a solid block of musical break, you know it. Take it. I tried to move, I could not budge. I was very fast. The kids got bored and then ran off to play. I cannot move, and so right here I lay. The tide's coming in, and I hope they're not too late. This time I'm gonna settle for sun lotion 98. Sun lotion 98. Sun lotion 98. So now, how we conserve some of our resources, because we really got to do that here. And I'm going to teach you how to do that in sign language. Take your 2B fingers like this, put them on top of each other, pull them towards you. This is how you save things. The first thing we need to save are our trees. What's between us and asphyxiating ourselves are these rainforests, and we need all those oxygen producers for us. So this chorus by Dave Orleans is easy to sing along and sign along with. Save some trees for me, please. Save some trees for when we grow up. And you're going to echo. When we grow up. You're going to echo all the verses here. Copy me. Sing along, sign along. If I were a tree, if I were a tree, in the middle of the woods, in the middle of the woods, with the sun and the rain, with the sun and the rain, I'd feel real good, I'd feel real good, I'd make some shade, I'd make some shade, cool my friends, cool my friends, and I grow buds and seeds and leaves and branches and the birds and the squirrels and they all right to the end, echo. Right to the end, save some trees for me, please. Save some trees for when we grow up, when we grow up. If I were a fish, if I were a fish, swimming in the stream, I'd have a lot of fun, I'd have a lot of fun. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I do a frog, I do a frog. Fly. And I hide the weeds from that funny old muskrat. Stay away from worms on what's gonna know that I'd rather live here in the stream till the day I die. Streams, save some streams for me, please. Save some streams for when we grow up, when we grow up. If I were the beach, if I were the beach, by the beautiful sea, by the beautiful sea, I'd love to feel the waves, I'd love to feel the waves, washing over me, washing over me. I'd like some kids, play in the sand, play in the sand. And I'd build my own castle with green grass upon me, and keep back the sea if no one steps down. So save me from traffic and please keep your trash off me. Keep your trash off me. Save some beach for me, please. Save some beach for when we grow up, when we grow up. If I were a cloud, if I were a cloud, floating through the sky, I'd have a nice time, I'd never fly by. I'd float to the sea, filled with rain, and I'd rain on the city and all the people in it. I'd clean all the dirt from the air in a minute. The sky would be blue when the sun came out again, came out in the air. Save some air for me, please. Save some air for when we grow up, when we grow up. If I were the sun, just lay in the sky, If I were the sun, looking down on earth, making daytime bright, and down on the earth, Spend day and night. On a great big ball. Blue and green. Where the land and the sea and the sky come together, and the wind and the clouds flow around making weather. It's the prettiest doggone planet that I've ever seen. That's the world. Save some world for me, please. Save some world for me. When we grow up, when we grow up. All right, good job. In that last verse, I made reference to a ball of blue and green, and you know exactly what I'm talking about here. Now, if we grew up here in the United States, from the time we were small kids, it was drilled into us, we start our school day with. Okay, so, but sometimes, that's good to know, we want to keep our country on the right track. It's getting harder to do these days, but it's our duty, and we are. But there's a lot of people get so zealous about this patriotism thing that they forget that there are other flags out there in the world, and people are very proud of their countries and their flags. But the one thing that we should keep in mind is that no matter what our flag is, what our culture is, our religion or skin color is, we're all on the same boat here. So we have this one home, and we're not sharing it very well. And we've got to do a better job of it. And so I'm proposing we learn a new pledge of allegiance, one to our collective home here. And not just to share with other people and cultures, but every other species that has every right to be here as much as we do, that they keep going extinct. So I need someone who's feeling very strong for me right now, and to hold up, be my atlas. I need a volunteer to be my atlas. Who's in my atlas? Somebody here? I really do need somebody. Here's your job. I need an atlas. Can you hold this up for me? Where's my atlas? Okay, come on. Here, great. The earth is in your hands, and it's a fragile thing there. So everybody else put your hand on your heart and repeat after me. I pledge allegiance to the web of life, of which we're each a strand, and to our planet Earth, on which we stand, one ecosystem, under the sun, interdependent, and diversity, and respect for all. Give them a hand for Atlas here. Thanks very much. Now, if anyone has any problems with those particular words, just go find yourself another planet. Okay, let me just end. So we gotta have some solutions here. So if we've been surviving our energy needs by digging up fossil fuels all this time, it's a finite resource. Anybody can figure out if it's a finite resource and you keep using it, it's going to run out. No brainer. So we still need our energy. Where are we going to get it from? Well, I'm going to go a little bit more closely directed to the source. That all of our energy indirectly comes from one source of this planet, and that is draw the sun for me in sign language. Here, you draw it there and shine it. Okay, there's the sun. And here's the sign for warm. So the sun's warm, it's going to warm up the top layer of the earth here, and that radiant heat is going to rise. You can see it rising. So when that rises, you cannot have a vacuum in nature. You know, nature abhors a vacuum. Air's got to fill its space. It could be cooler air. It could come in pretty fast in the form of. Okay. So why don't we harness some of that energy? I'm going to turn you all into wind turbines. And this is your aerobic session part of the show tonight. So I'm going to ask you to stand up and get a little movement pattern with us. Here's a song by my friend Rhiannon Hurst. You can sign along with me here. This is the sun shining down on earth. This is the warmth of the sun shining down on earth. This is the air rising up through the warmth of the sun shining down on earth. This is the wind blowing in, the air rising up through the warmth of the sun shining down on earth. This is the rotor spinning, and the wind blowing blowing in the air, rising up through the warmth of the sun shining down on earth. This is the generator running on the rotor spinning in the wind blowing in the air, rising up through the warmth of the sun shining down on earth. It's one of my favorite songs in time language. Take your two currents, put them together. This is electricity. From the generator running on a rotor spinning in the wind blowing in the air, rising up through the warmth of the sun shining down on earth. This is the light from the lamp I lit. Electricity flowing from the generator running on a rotor spinning in the wind blowing in the air, rising up through the warmth of the sun shining down. This is the book I'm reading in the light from the lamp I lit. With electricity flowing from the generator running on the rotor spinning in the wind blowing in the air, rising up through the warmth of the sun shining down. What is the title of the book I'm reading in the light from the lamp I lit? With electricity flowing from the generator running on the rotor spinning in the wind blowing in the air, rising up through the warmth of the sun shining down. Last verse, you know all the words, you can say it with me. This is the sun shining down on earth, is the title of the book I'm reading. A light from the lamp I lit. With electricity flowing from the generator running on a rotor spinning in the wind blowing in the air, rising up through the warmth of the sun shining down on earth.
So the last thing in this half is going to be a play, but while they set up, during the intermission, please look around in the lobby. Susan Quaitman, who is a remarkable silk artist, and Leslie Bartlett, who is a brilliant photographer, they work together often, interpreting what is happening to our ocean-bound landscape in these times. And what they capture is remarkable, beautiful, and sometimes frightening. So please enjoy their work when you go out there. Okay, while they were setting up, I thought I would try out my climate comedy. Don't worry, it's only 30 seconds. So how many of you are good swimmers? Good, the rest of you better learn. Living on the coast, my husband and I wanted to get a pet, and we figured the safest bet was a duck. Now, I don't know about you, I hate the term climate change, because change is organic, right? You know, oh, my wife is going through the change. So what do we think? The Earth is going to sweat for three years and then bulge around the equator? I don't think so. Okay, and that's it for the climate comedy, because it's really hard to write comedy if around climate. But I just wanted to share one more thing before the last play. So Charlie Baker, our not-so-beloved governor, used to work for the Koch brothers. And his energy policy and transportation policies pretty much reflect that. So 350 Mass had Charlie's Climate Catastrophe Tour. 2 weeks ago, built a 9-foot-high Charlie Baker puppet and took him around to what we considered some trouble spots, like where they want to build the Weymouth compressor plant, or, right, boo, or in East Boston, where they're putting yet more dangerous things into a working-class neighborhood. And the one thing Charlie has not been good on is transportation, unless you want to expand highways and use more gas. So we created this little song, and I thought I'd sing it to you, and anyone who knows it, because I know we got 350 people out there, you can join me. And it is from a song you'll all know. Let me tell you a story about Governor Charlie, who likes people to think he is green. But when it comes to supporting mass transportation, Charlie's nowhere to be seen. And does he ever show up? No, he never shows up. Except for a smiling Charlie. He can talk the talk, but doesn't walk the walk. He's the man who never shows up. Oh, the blue line is flooding, and the orange line is burning, and the silver line, it's a bus. The red line's derailing and the green line's a mess. What the hell's gonna happen with us? Oh, the changers are broken, the cars are antique, but Charlie doesn't care. And the tracks are rotting neath the streets of Boston, and still he raises the fare. Let's do that again. And still he raises the fare. To solve this problem, we need real solutions, a transit climate fix. Accessible, affordable, reliable, electric, the only sensible mix. Oh, the changes are ancient, the cars are antique, but Charlie doesn't care. And the tracks are rotting neath the streets of Boston, and still he raises the fare. Charlie on the MBTA. We're now going to welcome to the stage, just before our break, we have a play. And it is acted by Meghan Holtz, Tarmy, Rebecca Greene. And it takes place in the very near future. And all you need to know, we really couldn't afford. Did any of you see that great show at ART with the Korean divers, where they actually had a tank on stage and it looked like they were swimming? Okay, we just couldn't afford to build that. So I want you to imagine that our actors are walking around in 5 inches of sludge. And welcome to the play, Tomorrow.
I'm afraid the national standards do not allow us to energy cool a private residence further than we have engaged in.
Oh, Bill, you are a scientist, even when it comes to the thermostat.
No, I doubt you can even legitimately refer to me as a scientist anymore.
Don't be silly. With or without that thankless university, you are still a scientist. Now, what did my scientist make for our little dinner party tonight?
Ah, yes, an innovation. The cricket fritters are crisping in the sunroom. It has reached a temperature during the daytime where the reflected light from the glass produced enough UV to actually cook and crisp them.
I just love the way you have adapted to the new cuisine.
Oh, it's just another ice sheet breaking off. It will be stable in another few moments.
Vegetables?
Oh, I was able to obtain some lovely root specimens, infrared light enhanced by the sunroom glass.
Ooh, the sunroom is the new kitchen? Oh, Bill, you truly are the modern man.
No. If I was, I'd still be lecturing to halls of bright-eyed scholars instead of a dinosaur now doing the housekeeping.
No, you are the modern man. You're embracing the new today and doing it with panache. Cassandra, what are you doing home? Oh my God, look at you.
Mom, Dad, I need your help big time.
Cassie, are you in some kind of trouble?
Dad, we're all in trouble.
You know what I mean, honey. Personal trouble.
The personal's the political, and the political's the environmental.
Cassandra, cut the polemics. You are supposed to be at a work-study placement in the People's Republic of Vermont. Not the environment I would have chosen for a vulnerable young mind, but never mind, explain yourself.
I need refuge.
Please, begin at the origin of the tale. Now, what has happened, and why do you require refuge?
The police are after me. What? I did nothing wrong. I only did what you two taught me to do. The right thing. Does this change my looks?
Margaret, gentle. You can see she is in a heightened state. Okay, let's begin again from the beginning. Firstly, was anyone injured? Are you hurt?
Bill, slightly more pressing is the fact that the authorities are after her.
You mean the pig lackeys of the ruling class, don't you, Mother?
So easy to rebel. So much more difficult create a viable alternative. Young lady, you ground yourself in the here and now and use civil language as you explain what it is you've done this time. And Bill, don't let her back out of this.
I am only advocating for a better tomorrow. Once you have exhausted all the legal and civil approaches to change, and after 40 years of this, the Fosterville Empire is still expanding, and civil disobedience is called for.
No, some of us are working for change, and also we are energized and productive.
That's just the motto of your company, not anything real. Don't you guys have a serious security lock for the door?
Cassie, crisis or not, honey, were you part of an act of violence? Was anyone injured?
No, I was really careful about that. All direct actions by the tree people. Respect all life, all living things.
Oh, God, please do not tell me you were involved with one of those eco-anarchist groups.
You can't have our oaks and pines. We're not building new pipelines. Then blend in with the woods. Voila!
Bill, she listens to you. Please talk some sense into her. Those crazies have cost my company billions. Cassie, what? Is this some kind of post-adolescent rebellion or hostility? And why are the police after you? Did they follow you here?
Cassie, honey, just tell us what you did, from the beginning until the end.
No, Bill, there's no time for that. Our child is a wanted criminal. The police are coming here. We have to decide what to do.
Margaret, how we respond must be based on the specific facts of the situation. Cassie?
You're going to take notes?
You know it's how I think best.
Okay. I put a small explosive in an upstate gas pipeline just north of a compression station, so the pressure would be at its minimum frictional thrust, and its placement would allow for the immediate inundation of tons of mud, and could then be subjected to gratuitous detoxification by methanotrophs.
Oh my God. We paid for Stanford University so she could do this? Will you take off that ridiculous outfit?
Clearly, she learned and retained a great deal. You know, if I had a jumpsuit like that doing field work, the insects might not have been so phobic of me, and I could have understood their plight.
Bill, would you stop humoring her?
Dad, you have to stop blaming yourself. Not everyone can face what's happening, and the fact that we caused it.
There is a diversity of opinion on that.
Right, by Exxon's paid scientists.
But a scientist's stock and trade is clear observation, not denial.
Bill, I absolutely refuse to let you blame yourself. You know, it was those radicals at the university who dominated the department that got you fired. Your work was always stellar.
Cassie, you'll have to simplify the explosion explanation for your old man. I was only a humble entomologist. Now, I got gratuitous detoxification, but what are methanotrophs?
Bill, she has created an act of destruction against my company, the nation, maybe even the world. We have to decide what to do. She's ruining my life. Exhibit item A.
Margaret, I still would like to fully comprehend what it was.
Methanotrophs, Dad. They play a major role in the reduction of the release of methane into the atmosphere.
Oh my God, have you lost your mind? You have created a felony. Your life is over. My life is over.
Calculated I can neutralize the methane.
Our daughter has blown up a gas pipeline.
Well, you think I'm a terrorist or something? The real terrorists are companies like yours that continue to drill and frack and distribute gas that is 80 times more potent as a greenhouse gas than CO2.
May I remind you that that company paid for your 4-star education, our mortgage, and every benefit that we enjoy. And we would never deign to instruct people how to heat their homes, how to put gas in there, how to power their automobiles or their appliances. We believe in the power and the American value of free choice.
too big an issue to be determined at the tailpipe. It must be corrected at the wellhead.
That would stymie free trade and squash consumer choice. You know, if you really want to do a good thing, just teach people about what the environmentally perfect thing to do is.
Wait a minute. You think that distributing a gas that we know damages the Earth's climate and livability should be your free choice to do? Can you hear yourself?
Young lady.
We digress yet again. Political debate might not be the most politic thing to do at the moment.
How will they know it's you that has perpetrated this horrendous act?
They will know it's me that perpetrated this courageous act, I guess, because your home of the free, land of the brave has installed cameras everywhere. I tried to wear a mask, but I couldn't get a good sight on the detonator with it on. But who would recognize me now?
You are an inefficient terrorist who has done no good at all except to cut the energy off of people's homes. You will not be popular with your masses. I have some blonde hair dye upstairs.
Everyone wants an alternative to your stupid gas. I bet they're cheering me. And I'm not putting dye chemicals in my hair.
There are many known toxins in hair dye.
You always take her side.
Only when her argument holds the greatest logic or facts.
They'll never figure it's anyone other than the family dog. Good use for your dead animal skin, mother.
You'll take that off this second. Oh, when I think about the money we wasted on your education.
Excuse me. I would like to interject here prior to the police arriving. Our daughter, our highly educated, moral, and thoughtful daughter, has done something she felt essential for the preservation of our planet.
No, they're fake terminal, hitting its diseases. Only because they're breeding non-stop from all the freaking heat and moisture you've created. And your stupid carcinogenic spray is just making the survivors more virile.
That is ridiculous. I'm only trying to protect us.
Margaret, that is how you see it.
No, that is how it is. And now she is throwing herself on our mercy to protect her from herself and the legal system, which at any minute will rain down justice.
Margie, can't you see that she doesn't believe the legal system has her best interests forefront in its laws or functioning?
Not just me, Daddy. He doesn't care about you or Mom or the safety of the food we eat or the protection of the planet we live on.
About enough. This government has always protected me just fine. And in a few minutes, it's coming to haul away another threat.
Oh, we have a quandary. Do we follow the letter of the law or the spirit of justice? I allowed what I love to slip out of my life because I failed to acknowledge what was right in front of me.
Oh, Will. You are not responsible for the insect die-off. Well, that was beyond your control. Now, you are no longer an academic. Must we ponder polemics when action is called for? Our child has committed a very, very regrettable mistake.
I don't regret it for a minute.
Oh, I wish your frontal lobe would just harden off and you'd act like a grown-up.
Margaret, maybe she is right.
Well, you know, you've always been too easy on her, but never like this.
Yeah, I am an entomologist from the Midwest. We are polite. Volcanic eruptions doubled in output within 50,000 years of huge meteor or comet impact. During that same 50,000 years, the dinosaurs became extinct. You see, Margaret, those were conditions beyond their control, and that is how I am treating all of this.
Yes, that's correct. There are many variables at play. Ah, well, here they are, the protectors of order. And maybe, just maybe, our progeny need some of what they are doling out.
Cassie, you must act with all due haste. Help me get her up before she asphyxiates on the sludge.
Police, open the door.
Take off your coat.
Oh no! Oh God! Zippers!
Go quickly, place your backpack next to Mom. And up. Mountaintop removal.
Police, open the door.
Okay, baby, let's evacuate the premises and discharge some more explosives at vulnerable locations along gas pipelines.
Oh, Daddy! I can't wait for you to meet the other tree people. I love you.
The next two songs were written a few years ago already by a friend of mine, Deborah Hansen Conant. She is fabulous. You have to really check her out. There's a TED Talk on her, with her on YouTube. She is a harpist and an amazing composer, and she is like Stephen Sondheim to me because she also writes incredible lyrics to her wonderful music. So she wrote this musical called The Ground Zero Club, and it's about a nuclear disaster, really. Yeah, very cheerful. The motto of the club is called, if it weren't serious, we wouldn't be laughing. So the first song I'm going to be singing is quite satirical. And the second one is reflective and beautiful and sad and all of the above. Tell me your dreams of apocalypse, darling. Whisper the words that I'm longing to hear. Set me to trembling with tales of the ending. I know the day of damnation is near. Tell me they're using my taxes for missiles. Tell me my bathwater glows in the dark. I know you live by a nuclear waste pile. What? Oh, they're turning it into a park. Oh, how I long for your lips when I dream that this kiss is the last one before the explosion. Ooh, how intensely erotic the fabulous thought it could end with a bang, with a bang. Tell me your dreams of apocalypse, darling. Oh, that's a tune that you whistle so well. Sing me a song of the end of creation. Tell me there isn't a chance left in hell. Oh, how I long for your thighs when I think of the size of the next detonation. Oh, the thought of that surging, pulsing energy drives me absolutely mad. Tell me your dreams of apocalypse, darling. Tell me your nightmares and I'll tell you mine. Live for the moment and die for the missiles. Life is so hellishly, swellishly fine. We'll have a magical, tragical time. Tell me your nightmares and I'll tell you mine. When the end comes, when the skies bloom with a burst of color and a strange perfume, you can call out my name through the night and the rain, but I'll be gone when the sun beams through a still haze, when the sunset lingers for 1,000 days, you can reach for my hand through the endless sand, but I'll be gone when your eyes fade with your last breath, as you dream of all the promises of love we made. You can whisper a prayer and pretend that I'm there, but I'll be gone. I'll be gone for the backlash. I'll be gone in the first flash. I'll be there where the lights are brightest of all. And when the end comes, you can look for me, though the mist of evening will be all you can see. You can reach for my hand, you can search for my smile, you can listen for my song, you can call my name, but I'll be gone.
Tanya Bleich on piano. She teaches piano at New England Conservatory. And I think you can understand why I didn't want to introduce Ute, because there are not enough superlatives that could have preceded her. But let me tell you a little bit about her. So Ute hails from Vienna, which she told you, and she trained in both acting and singing in LA and then went back to Europe to launch her career in opera and operetta. And she worked in the opera houses of Vienna and Zurich, and she has sung in concert halls in London and Athens, Frankfurt, Munich, Tokyo, but this was my favorite, the Salzburg Music Festival. How do we know that, right? The hills are alive, right? I said, that's the one we'll all know. Because Rodgers and Hammerstein brought it to us. So let me just tell you a few of the amazing things she's done. Today she is considered the primo interpreter of the music of Kurt Weill. She was a judge at the Lotte Lenya Voice Competition, which is, kind of a very sophisticated thing to be asked to do. And she is an Irene-nominated actress for her role as Eldonza in The Man of La Mancha. Can't you imagine it? She was fantastic. I saw it. And if you're interested, so Here's one of the reasons I truly admire her. You've seen a lot of artists, and those of us who make our living as independent artists, we're always begging for a spot, auditioning, looking to see if something is right. She's not waiting for that anymore. She's created these amazing shows that stand on their own. One of them is a brilliant piece about the Holocaust that she does with a visual artist, and it's from the vantage point of her knowing that her father had served in the German army during that war, and the artist's family had been Jews locked in the Holocaust. An amazing program. So thank you. Let's just give her one more round. Okay. How many of you are denizens of Gloucester? Ooh. So you might have seen JoeAnn Hart drinking coffee, walking down the street, being a person like the rest of us. JoeAnn has spent decades binding her care for the world and the people that live here and the words that come out of the end of her pen. One of her works, her newest one, Stamford 76, is a true story of murder, corruption, race, and feminism. And since it's a memoir, it tells you she has not had a boring life. Tonight she's going to grace our stage reading a little from her book, Float, which is a dark comedy about plastics in the ocean. Let's welcome JoeAnn Hart.
Hi. Hi, everybody. Thank you all for coming out tonight for 350.org. That is just awesome. And thank you for all the organizers. And a night like tonight reminds us that while we have to keep fighting for science and truth, that the arts and humanities have the emotional power to affect real change. And we need change. Judith said I'm going to read just a passage from Float, which is, as she said, dark comedy about plastics in the ocean. The only thing that you need to know is that the protagonist is Duncan Leyland. He owns a fish dehydration plant, a failing fish dehydration plant on the New England coast, and he is in a restaurant right now, Man of Villains, and he's waiting for a takeout order. Now I've got I'm old now. Duncan picked up a copy of New England Fisherman to take his mind off his financial woes by reading about others' woes. Above the general noise of the restaurant, he heard a familiar voice rise from a booth. I am willing to make a contribution to nature, but nature must be willing to make a contribution to me first. Who is going to pay me to change my nets? Duncan pressed his glasses hard against his face, as if that could block out the words. No matter which way he turned these days, his business problems lay in wait for him. This particular problem was Kendry Ottenstein, captain of a 100-ton South African vessel fishing out of Port Ellery for the herring season. And there he sat, trapped by Annuncia, whose physique was as solid as if she'd been poured in a foundry. Kendry was a fish she'd been trying to land for a long time, and all she had to do to block his exit from his booth was pull up a chair. Aside from her job managing Seacrest, she was an organizer for Green Fish, a group that promoted ecologically caught seafood. She was constantly haranguing captains like Kendry, a paying Seacrest client, about conforming to practices that respected the fisheries, such as proper net size to limit bycatch, the inadvertent capture of one species while trying to fish for another. By law, the bycatch, which was almost always dead, and if not dead, dying, had to be thrown back into the sea. It couldn't even be given to Duncan to dehydrate, which was a truly sinful waste of an already depleted resource. Duncan understood the long-term consequences of dirty fishing, but with Seacrest on such shaky legs at the moment, this was hardly the time to alienate clients because of it. It's cheaper to pay the fines than to change my nets, continued Kendry. You know how much that costs? Do you know how much it costs not to? Asked Tanuncia. She spoke with controlled motions of her hand, as if she were trying to keep from hitting him. Healthy fisheries are good business, good for everyone. If the fish disappear, so do we. I'll be here, he said, his mouth full of coleslaw. No, Kendry, not you. With this, she tapped him on the forehead, and he gave her a serious look of warning. She pushed her chair back with a purposely grating sound. You may be clever, Kendry, but you're not very smart. Duncan hid behind a pillar so Kendry wouldn't see him and canceled their contract on the spot. The week before, the captain of a factory trawler left Seacrest for a waste processor in Portland to get away from Annuncia's public attacks. She accused him of scraping the bottom of the ocean floor clean with his trawl, the marine equivalent of clear-cutting rainforests. Duncan, Slocum called from the kitchen, put a piece of lemon in your mouth. Duncan picked up a wedge from a bowl and let it rest on his tongue. Man of Villains was owned by his buddy Slocum Statler, whose bread and butter was the fry plates, but he dreamed of making a name for himself in gastro-aquatic wonders, as he called them, and flew a pirate's flag in the kitchen. He kept up with the latest food trends, with a special interest in molecular gastronomy, while closely adhering to a New England fish shack menu. Often, this meant a liberal hand in substituting one ingredient for another. He was known to stuff shrimp with breadcrumbs made from almond cookies, and he kept a tank of live eels in the courtyard for making pie. The calamari calzone wasn't half bad if you could get past the disturbing menu notes. Quote, squid are generally recognized to be smarter than dogs. Endangered status 0. Because of warming waters, squid have surpassed humans in total biomass on the planet. It's a test, Slocum said, wiping his hands on his apron as he approached the take-out counter from the kitchen. He had an ancient mariner gleam in his eyes and a full, squared-off beard and walrus mustache, probably in violation of the health code. It made him look like an Old Testament prophet, which made people trust him more than they should. A test of what? Asked Duncan. Lemon juice makes introverts salivate more than extroverts. This is for Clover's kids' science project. Open, he said, brandishing a flashlight. Tip your noggin and let's get a look. Duncan opened his mouth for inspection, and while his head was bent back, he read the hand-lettered sign tacked over the counter, quote, no trans fats used in cooking. What the sign didn't say was that Manavillans used lard for frying, and Slocum often claimed he'd use whale blubber if he could get his hands on any. He believed that fat was the secret to the success of the species. Humans were not just the fattest primates, they also had 10 times as many fat cells as would be expected in any animal of its size, which to Slocum pointed to one obvious conclusion. Humans were descended from aquatic apes. And he believed they needed to maintain those fat deposits for when, perhaps not so far in the future, the rising tides of global warming forced Homo sapiens back to the sea. Thank you.
I was so inspired by Float that I did some more research on plastics, and discovered that the American approach to plastics is kind of like our approach to gun control. Because when you have a powerful lobby with lots of money, you never do the obvious thing, which is ban guns. We're not an agrarian society. We don't have to shoot the cougar that's going after our chickens anymore. Why don't we ban them? No, instead we dance around. We go, well, maybe there shouldn't be an AK-47 in every home. Okay, and well, maybe really crazy people, we should do more background checks. But we never say, just ban them. And it's the exact same thing with plastics. We have become have any of you ever tried to shop and not get anything with plastic on it? I mean, how hard is that, right? It's inundated our world, and it's dangerous at every level. You know, polyvinyl chloride is a toxin. It does not appear in nature. They had to keep recreating it and recreating it and recreating it so that we could have plastic. So I said, okay, let's see what we can do about this. So you go on the internet and you go, okay, ban plastics. And here's what I got. Oh no, we don't want to ban them. We want to repurpose them. Okay, how many single-use plastic bottles do we throw away every day in this country? Every day. Any guesses? How many million? Keep going. Keep going. 50 million bottles every single day. Well, I'm sure we can repurpose them all. Come on. We don't want to inhibit the plastics industry. So I did some homework, and this was one idea, crafts projects. I'm not very crafty, but here we have little Oinky, and Oinky also is a shovel, okay? So that really is gonna work well. And oh, look at this, a pen holder. You just cut that bottle in half, fill it with some sand, and you've got a pen holder. Or, oh, this was a good one. Oh God, sand is really heavy. Snack tray. I want you to go home, I'm sure, snack trays, this is a great reuse of your plastic. And children's toys.
Yeah. Hi, I'm Willie the Whale. And like you just heard, my whole world is turning to shit. My friends are dying because there's so many toxins in the water and there's not much oxygen anymore. And that's why the oceans are acidifying. And wait, I can't say all this to a kid. That's not fair. I'll go say it to Wheeler, the head of the EPA. I think he might not care.
So as you see, no problem. How many? 50 million a day? We can repurpose them. And speaking of creativity, let me introduce our very next performer. So Walnut Da Lyrical Geni is a hip-hop artist, a poet, a community organizer, a workshop leader, and a really nice guy. Walnut started having these community parties, and he invites everyone. And you come, and you will meet people, you will meet professors, you'll meet people who just got out of prison, you'll meet day laborers, you will meet activists, and we're all sitting there eating his utterly brilliant eggplant parmesan. He has created community. Let us welcome Walnut Da Lyrical Geni.
Is this mic on? Yes, it is. How are you doing? My name is Walnut Da Lyrical Geni. I am a hip-hop poet, and I'm a performance artist. I do a lot of different things, so I'm going to do some stuff for you guys. How is everyone doing right now? Thank you for coming out and supporting this stuff. You know, this is very important. You know, we need to let the young people know that we need to save our planet. And that's the goal tonight, is to help save our planet with all your help. Get out there and talk to people. Tell them we need to do this. And I got merch in the other room. So, here we go. This is how we do. The message we'll convey as we pursue hopes for brighter days. We all are different, yeah, but yet the same. We all have families and friends, and we go through pain. I said we all are different, yeah, but yet the same. We love our families and friends, and we go through pain. See, some people aren't aware of what's happening. Some may not care. Some might say, it's not affecting me because it's happening over there. But believe it or not, we're all in despair. This is our house. Let's keep it tidy. Let's not leave a mess. Be proud of the progress because the earth deserves our respect. They say this is a land of the free, but so many of us are behind bars physically and mentally. Let me tell you, life can be very, very challenging. We deal with the woes and the highs and lows. Why aren't we connecting? I ask. Why aren't we connecting? Instead of molding, we are dissecting. Why neglect the fact that we are all in this together? And due to that fact, we need to help out and let people know about what's going on in this world today. So, as I say that, let's get a little rhyme going on a cappella. Sound the alarm, alert the community. Worldwide, it has to be in unity. Carbon pollution choking the atmosphere. Global warming, we're hearing you loud and clear. Our ecosystem is being compromised by human influence. Some say it's genocide. Earth creations are becoming extinct, from bees to the coral reef. Floods and fires threatens vegetation. Agriculture is facing annihilation. Save our planet, don't take it for granted. All hands on deck with all due respect. Can't deny the fact there's much at stake. So why do we debate? Helping others is what we do as humankind. So let's get moving because we're running out of time. Our problem is your problem. If we can't work together, we will not solve them. Our problem is your problem. If we can't work together, then we cannot solve them. Our problem is your problem. If we can't work together, we will not solve them. Our problem is your problem. If we can't work together, then we will not solve them. Taking scuba diving lessons, never learn to swim. Sea levels rising. I think it's gonna do us in. Hey, say hello to your neighbors. What a sad, sad nation. How can we achieve when we lack communications? Irritants floating through the air, affecting our health, and their main concern is accumulating wealth. When wars declared, many become refugees, while dictators carry out killing sprees. What about the kids? The starving families? I'm starting to lose faith in humanity. Passing down the burdens to future generations who may never recover from such devastation. Negligence from recklessness, corrupt system, dismantle it. We say, power to the people, raise your fist and resist. Resist. Our problem is your problem. If we can't work together, then we will not solve them. Our problem is your problem. If we can't work together, then we will not solve them. Our problem is your problem. If we can't work together, then we will not solve them. Our problem is your problem. If we can't work together. Listen, so this is a very serious issue, and we need to do something. And the reason why I do mention a lot about community, because I'm all about community buildings. It's how I've been pretty much all of my life, and I'm always getting together really cool, collective, positive people. And I say, you know, if someone doesn't look like you, please reach out. You know, because we are all in this together, you know. So Get out there, help people, educate people. See, we have this issue sometimes with folks in this whole climate world where we like to point fingers at people who just don't understand the concept of what's really going on. You know, oh, those people are so stupid because they're not recycling. You know, no, that's not the case. Get out there and help people, educate people, and be cool about it, because you don't want to be that person that's like, oh, that person. Oh, I'm tired of talking to that person. You know, here we go again. So I got a crowd participation thing. So in this song, I have this part that says, negligence from recklessness, corrupt system, dismantle it. So this is what we're gonna do. Because you like fun party people. That's right, you gotta be. Why not? So here we go. What I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna make it really simple. You don't have to do the chorus with me because sometimes it can be complicated for some people, you know. I mean, if you wanna, it's up to you. However, we can also do this at the end. When I say dismantle it, we can just like, whatever way you wanna break this, just snap it on your leg, you wanna crumble it up, you wanna kick it, just dismantle it, you know what I mean? Let's do it. So I'm gonna do this, and we're gonna practice. It's our rehearsal right now. It's our rehearsal. All right. Negligence from recklessness, corrupt system, dismantle it. Are you getting it? Because I have faith in you, my white friends. we can make this happen. You know what I mean? I believe in you. Okay, negligence from recklessness, corrupt system, dismantle it. All right, recklessness from, negligence from recklessness, corrupt system. All right, okay, you're doing okay. You know, all right. I mean, here's some like click, click, clap, not clap, but click, click, clap. That's close. That's close. So let's do this again. We're gonna be tight because you all are gonna join my band. So let's do it again. Negligence from recklessness, corrupt system, dismantle it. Yes, recklessness from. Hey, listen, I'm messing up. Gosh, man, I gotta move back to the hood. I've been on no show for too long. Okay, negligence from recklessness, corrupt system, dismantle it. Recklessness from negligence, corrupt system, dismantle it. Yes, negligence from recklessness, corrupt system, dismantle it. What? Recklessness from negligence, corrupt system, dismantle it. Oh, negligence from recklessness, corrupt system, dismantle. One more time. Recklessness from negligence, corrupt system, dismantle it. Word. Listen, you guys are absolutely amazing, awesome. Show the love, share the love. We are all love. I really like you folks. You're really cool. And I'm going to put you on my next album. I don't know what the rules are in this theater, but I'm kind of like a photo-like whore, if you may. So snap some pictures of me and send them. I'm just saying. A word, that's what I wrote. All right. Thank you very much for listening. My name is Walnut Da Lyrical Geni. Peace. Yes.
Okay, y'all ready to rhyme now? So remember at the beginning, the first story was basically, you do what you can do. Noah built the ark, Lot. So here's your job. Here's the one thing that I can do. And I want each of you to think of how you're going to finish that line in terms of getting fossil fuels out of our world and detoxifying it. Take 30 seconds and think of your second line. Here's the one thing that I can do. Think. Go ahead.
Shut down Weber's compressor.
It's good. It doesn't rhyme, but it works. Here's the one thing that I can do. Shut the Weymouth compressor, me and you. Okay, who has one they want to share? Here's the one thing that I can do.
Raise a lot of money for a kestrel.
They don't rhyme, but they're good. They're good. One more.
Bicycle or recycle?
What was that?
Bicycle.
Oh, here's the one thing that I can do. Bicycle recycle. Me and you. We can just add that to the end of every one, and it works. So there is something every one of us can do. And in tonight's last play, you'll see two people who can do very, very different things. Let's welcome Cyndi Geller and Rebecca Greene in A Warm Day in March.
Hi, gorgeous day, huh?
It is 73 degrees in early March in New England.
Aren't you the woman who lives in that house? Are you okay?
I'd be a lot better if you were the third person to say how gorgeous it is today.
Isn't it?
73 degrees.
Yes, I can read a thermometer.
Do you understand what that means? The end of the world as we know it. Melting glaciers, rising water levels, extreme weather, new impressives, and not to mention more methane coming out of the permafrost.
I'm so sorry to have bothered you. I need to be getting my groceries home.
I know you don't get your groceries at CVS. You just want to get as far away from the crazy lady as fast as possible, right? Please, I'm sorry. Honestly, I am not crazy. It's just that you really were the third person to tell me all of that stuff in the 1 hour that I've been out here. Sorry. My daughter says I have the social skills of a pit bull. You moved in up there, didn't you? I know. It's like I have environmental Tourette's.
You mean you can't control what comes out of your mouth?
Unfortunately, that seems to be what's happening. Something reminds me that we are intentionally destroying our planet, and down the rabbit hole I go with planetary doom. Oh, my goodness. How can I even explain to you what's going on? Oh, my. Listen. Let me try and explain this to you. How can we even think about putting more greenhouse gases in the environment?
What's your name?
I'm sorry. My name is Hope Dillard. And welcome to the neighborhood. You are?
Leia Stone.
Stone. My bad for not coming by with cookies or salad or something to welcome you.
That's fine. Everyone is busy these days. I'll take the will for the deed. Now, have to be off. It was nice finally meeting you.
Look, I think it's your boys who always stop by to look at my garden. Anthony and Frederick, what are they, 5 and 8?
Exactly. I hope they're not bothering you.
Oh, no, not at all. They are adorable. The first time I saw them ogling my berry bushes, I gave them a garden tour. They picked some raspberries. Oh, don't worry, no pesticides on anything.
Still, they are uninvited guests. I will have a talk with them. I'm so sorry.
No, I love having them come over.
Have they been here a lot?
Well, when I'm out working in the garden and they come by, I didn't imagine it would be a problem.
It's just, are you a mother? Then you can imagine how unnerving it is to find out that your children have relationships that you don't know about.
Are you kidding? That's what happens the second they get to school. One minute they're your little darling, and the next minute they're arriving home in the back of a motorcycle driven by some kid who has so many piercings and studs. He looks like a psychedelic colonist. Turns his head the wrong way in the sun, and you're completely blinded. Anyway, that's one of the reasons I wanted to meet. First of all, to introduce myself. See, no piercings, no tattoos, and to ask you about the boys. They want to help me plant this spring.
Hope you need to understand I'm just not comfortable.
Ribbit.
Oh my God. It's you they got the frog song from. You have a yard full of ceramic frogs, don't you? They were talking about it night after night, but I never put it together.
I put them everywhere. Because there is a major die-off of frogs in Central and South America. And here, industrial farms just keep on puking out tons of pesticides and fertilizers. And the poor little boy frog's gonads are producing testicular lesions and, well,
Got it.
Sorry. I can become bludgeoning.
A bit badgering.
Oh, yeah. Bombarding and barking.
You might say belaboring.
I must admit, beleaguering and a bit boring.
Bombastically blighting.
Oh, good one. My behavior, according to my daughter, can be quite bestial.
No, but possibly biliously blasphemous.
Oh, that hurt. And I can't do it.
Don't even try. I used to make my living with words before I traded metaphors for dirty diapers and parent-teacher conferences.
Worth it?
Oh, yes. Words are ineffectual, but kids are real. They ground you. You said you have your own?
Mm-hmm.
Well, if empowering a 5- and 8-year-old to make croaking noises for 20 minutes every day is any measure of success, you've had a triumph with mine.
I am sorry if the croaking was annoying. But it is a great way to bring the problem to the public, and especially at Monsanto and Dow Chemical headquarters.
You protest there?
Whenever I can. I really hope you'll allow the boys to come and help me with the garden. I start digging in about 3 weeks. Oh, little Anthony has the cutest way of saying tornado.
So that's what you're doing out here, engaging people in conversations about the gorgeous weather. A demonstration at the Light Commission office.
We have to convince them to start sourcing our electricity from renewable resources. I mean, who wants to contribute to putting more greenhouse gases into the environment?
Not if it's possible to do otherwise.
Right. This is not a choice. It's a necessity. I've read the science. We have to have stopped burning fossil fuels 50 years ago.
70 years ago. Let me think about Anthony and Frederick in your garden. For now, I have to get going.
Listen, wait. If we can convince our lighting commission to start sourcing from 100% renewable resources, well, that's something. That's something big. Something that other communities can model. Come to the commissioner's office demonstration. Bring the boys. Show them what democracy looks like. return my phone calls.
Hope, they are using as great a percentage of renewables as are available for the kilowatt-hour price they pay for other sources.
Okay, but there are so much more important things than money. How do you know that?
My husband is the new light commissioner. And yes, they receive your calls, and emails, and letters.
They think I'm a nut, don't they?
The boys really like you.
My own daughter thinks I'm a nut, so why not complete strangers? Don't you?
You barely know me. Why would you care what I thought?
Because I like you. I like your boys. You are smart, and they are inquisitive. Do you think I'm nuts?
Okay, then I do not think you're mentally deranged, but you don't make it easy on anyone. You are intense.
I just want to leave a livable planet for Frederick and Anthony. Don't you think that's worth being intense about?
Of course it is, but you push in uncomfortable ways. Hope, why do you care so desperately?
About?
Everything. Greenhouse gases, frogs, your garden.
Why doesn't everyone?
Indeed. I have to go.
Really, it's all true.
I know.
You know.
I know. Hope, I don't live under a rock.
Then why don't you become active? I could take you to a 350 meeting.
You think that would change anything?
Well, we have to try. It's almost too late.
How many people are in your organization?
Since the election, we've grown from 8 people to 40.
40. Hope, there are millions of people, well-intentioned people, people who love their children and do their jobs with integrity, who burn tons of fossil fuels every day.
That's why we have
They don't have a choice. If they want to get to work, or warm their homes, or buy food they can afford, it all starts with greenhouse gases. They just do what they know how to do. They just keep going from where they've been.
And destroy the only home we have.
And destroy the only home we have. Yeah, I studied earth sciences in college. I was a science writer.
Oh my God, you are the perfect
No. Stop. Stop right there. You do not understand. You look at all this, and it ignites you. You're active, brave, ready to fight. A great warrior for our planet. It swallows me. The whole horrible business swallows me.
You understand it all.
After researching and writing about it for years, nothing has changed. We just keep drilling and fracking and mining and burning.
And that's why we have
I ended up depressed. Medication needing depressed. Hospital level depressed. Oh, I have children now. I can't go there again. Can you understand that? I want to live. I want to enjoy those wonderful boys and my husband, who is doing everything in the realm of normal expectation to make good choices. Hope, I don't think you're crazy. I admire you. I cannot go where you live. I might not come back.
That?
Thank you.
Well, how about gardening your boys?
Can you keep the end of the world as we know it out of it?
But they have to know something.
If you want my boys in your yard,
don't hand it to them. Not now. Okay. gorgeous day, Leia.
You too, Hope.
Cyndi Geller and Rebecca Greene, thank you. A warm day in March. How many of you did that happen to? Yeah. I mean, so it came right out of my experience walking around on a warm day in March, and if one more person said, "Isn't it beautiful?" It was like, meh. Well, we are in our final move here, and we are going to get one more song. Now, I have to say, so Rhiannon and Perry are going to come back, make your way back, and I have to apologize because Perry got shorted, and I want you to know she's going to college as an environmental engineer and also plays trumpet and guitar professionally. So they are going to share one more song with us before we say our goodbyes and have our final tune. And I like to think of this amazing song as the solar side of the street.
1, 2, 3. Grab your coat and snatch your hat. Leave your worries on the doorstep. Just direct your feet to the sunny side of the street. Can't you hear that pitter pat? And that happy tune is your step. Life can be so sweet on the sunny side of the street. I used to walk in the shade with my blues on parade. Say now I'm not afraid. This rover, he crossed over. If I never had a cent, oh, I'd be rich as Rockefeller. Gold dust round my feet on the sunny side of the street. Say do do da vu da vu da se do e da vu da be vu vu ba vi do de ba boy be be do boy ba bo boy de zo de 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 do bo be be do do be de do zo de vu vu de be say da be vu be do se be go boy be vu de be do ba on the sunny side of the street. Thank you.
Here comes what I hope is the very short but very necessary list of thank yous for the night. Thank you to our sponsors, people who actually tossed us money to help this happen. Revision Energy. Who's here from Revision? Anybody? Revision, are you here? They had 6 tickets. They said they were coming. They just put air source heat pumps into my house. It is worker-owned company, completely dedicated to switching over to renewable energy. Linda Doe, Marblehead League of Women Voters, Peg Rainey, Jack and Linda Weltner, JoeAnn Hart, thank you. Our coalition partners, and as I mentioned, if you're here, stand up, so in case people want to talk with you. So, Citizens Climate Lobby, Rob is here from CLL. Swing Left, DSA. All right. So you can talk to these people afterwards. Safe. There they are. Greater Boston Trade Justice. You made it. Woo! All right. And finally, this kind of thing doesn't happen without a lot of work. And the North Shore node of this organization put this together and worked on the tickets, the publicity, every single aspect of it. So everyone from the node, stand up. Come on out. Woo! House. What? What, Fred? This is Brenda Starr's Lover. How many of you remember Brenda Starr and the One-Eyed Lover?
Well, all the people at 350, we really appreciate what you've done. That we really like that you put so much effort into it. We'd like to give you a massage. Gift certificate.
Oh. Oh, I was getting so excited. Thank you. It's a great team, and if you're looking for a group to work with, we meet the first Tuesday of every month, 6:30 at the Beverly Farms Library, and we are committed to changing our world and having a good time. So it's a nice group to be part of. Gotta put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. You gotta put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. Guess what your part is? That's the chorus. You gotta put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. You gotta put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. Again, you gotta put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. You gotta put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. It's a call and response song.
It's a little low, don't you think? You gotta put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. Put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. You gotta put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. Put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. Don't lose hope. Don't give up hope. You're not alone. You're not alone. Don't you give up. Don't you give up. Keep marching on. Keep marching on. You gotta put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. One foot in front of the other and lead with love.
Lift up your eyes. Don't you despair. Look up ahead. The path is there.
You gotta put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. One foot in front of the other and lead with love.
I know you're scared.
I know you're scared.
'Cause I'm scared too. But I'm still standing, still right next to you, right next to you. You gotta put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. One foot in front of the other and lead with love. You gotta put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. Oh, one foot in front of the other and lead. Two more times. You gotta put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. One foot in front of the other. One more time. Lead with love. You gotta put one foot in front of the other and lead with love. Oh, one foot in front of the other and lead with love. And lead with love. And lead with love. Thank you.